Hey, really fast, I'm going to interrupt you for literally breaking news. Lightning has struck the Columbia Gulf gas pipeline, causing a massive fiery explosion. This is in Corinth, Mississippi. Currently, numerous emergency crews and other agencies have assembled at Columbia Gulf gas pipeline in Corinth, Mississippi in response to massive explosion with large fire. And I'm watching this video. Holy crap. Officials believe that the ignition has resulted from a lightning strike which impacted the Columbia Gulf gas pipeline. However, the current status, if the gas has been stopped from leaking or if any persons present at the site of the explosion have sustained injuries, remain unknown because it's just happened. Let me see if I can get this video to play for like 2 seconds. Look, can y'all see what's happening there? That is aggressive.
Oh boy.
That is a lot.
Oh boy.
You see that?
So this may be it. Time to say goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye to the world and the way of life and the freedoms we once knew or thought we knew of the past, and prepare for the new world order. The new world order that is being put in place now may be the last chance for some to hurry up and leave. Pack up all you can, get everything you can carry, and get out now before it's too late.
Are we talking a specific place here?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I have proof that would lead you to believe that they truly don't want you to own anything. And in fact, what little you have left that you may be thinking about passing down a generation and leaving for your kids is at risk too. And they say, or are now saying, not to leave anything to your kids. They're trying to paint this picture. Mm-hmm. In essence, you'll have nothing personally to transfer ownership and allow your kids to inherit. Mm-hmm. But first, we need to talk about some very important, urgent, breaking news and announcements. A heads up, if you will, from the events that transpired late yesterday, overnight, and more to come today and in the days ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Really would appreciate it. Thanks in advance. So tornadoes ripped through the Florida Panhandle.
Yeah, that's not something moving to Florida that you expect.
So get ready for the insurance claim madness, insurance claim nightmares, jobs at risk and layoffs on the rise, Fed rate hikes and more inflation, as well as farming, managing a farm, the bee population, plus farmers taking it on the chin, not just here, but all around the world. Danger to homesteads, danger to homesteaders, danger to preppers trying to be self-sufficient and live off grid. They are coming to take it all. Say goodbye to freedom, more or less. As FedNow launches in a few weeks, and you will soon never own your money ever again. So, as I said, please smash that like button. It really does help us out tremendously. And let's just go ahead and dive in. And as well, comment down below and tell us, have you ever experienced a tornado? Because I didn't think that Florida was a tornado target, but I guess you learn something new every day.
I remember when I was little in South Carolina one time, there was a tornado warning. Which one is the one where it's been spotted? I can never remember if it's tornado warning or tornado watch. I think watch is you need to be on the lookout for it. Warning is because it's been seen. Mm-hmm. I think that's right. I remember when I was little, there was a tornado warning in South Carolina where I was, which was crazy to me. And my Nana made me get into a tub and pull this mattress from the guest bedroom in there and cover us in the tub.
You know, it's funny because I've got I got all these headlines pulled up. I'm talking ABC News, Pensacola News Journal, Weather Channel, Fox 35 Orlando, 6 Click Orlando. Okay, let me read these titles to you to these news headlines. Extremely dangerous tornado confirmed in Florida amid severe weather threat. Mm-hmm. Florida tornadoes, large hail, panhandle hit with severe weather. Mm-hmm. Tornado confirmed near Panama City, Florida, in Lynn Haven on Thursday. Florida tornado causes damage in Liberty County. Video 7 reported tornadoes touched down in Florida and Georgia. And another day of severe weather brings tornado threat to Central Florida. When will it end? More severe storms possible in Central Florida. Those sound kind of scary.
Well, yeah. Anytime you put out like severe and things like that, I mean, it's designed to make you pay attention.
I think anytime a tornado is in your area, it's scary.
It's scary, yes, I agree.
So, for instance, we saw on the news yesterday, we were eating dinner. We did end up getting Merlins. And on the TV, or one of the TVs, they had the NFL draft, which I didn't know was an outdoor event. That was pretty cool.
I don't think it normally is.
And another TV was showing the news, and it showed the funnel clouds in Florida and the tornado damage. If you saw a funnel cloud outside the window, what emotion would you have?
Terror.
Fear?
Yeah.
Okay. You would fear that tornado?
Yes.
What would that make you do?
Run.
Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Your family. Self-preservation.
Yeah.
Survival.
Yeah.
If you didn't see a funnel cloud, but you saw these news headlines and you were in Lynn Haven or Liberty County or Central Florida, Orlando, would it do the same?
Yes.
It would
still instill fear.
It would instill fear.
Not to the same degree as actually seeing it with my own eyes, but it would instill a different kind of fear, I think.
So I want to share with you. Some information here that says the fear reflex is arguably the strongest of primitive instincts for survival and a critical driver of evolution.
Fight or flight, right?
Pretty much. The fear reflex is arguably the strongest of primitive instincts for survival and a critical driver of evolution. Why is the emotion of fear so strong? All mammals share a similar evolutionary conserved neural circuitry of threat processing. The news, in my opinion, was warning, sharing information, educating, and informing everyone of the weather.
But they had to do it in a way that people would look at it.
I don't think you can mention tornadoes in your backyard without it just being inherently scary.
Yeah. I mean, even if they had titled it, "There's a tornado in your backyard."
Well, think about it.
Pensacola
News Journal says, tornado confirmed near Panama City, Florida, in Lynn Haven Thursday. Like, confirmed.
Yeah.
With the tornado picture right there. So if you're in Panama City in Lynn Haven, you're thinking, oh, crap. That's not scary. That's not overly scary.
No.
But if you're there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime a tornado is confirmed, it is scary.
So for all the people out there who choose to comment and say that my videos are fear-based, in my opinion, they're only you'll only receive them as fear-based if you are potentially at risk. This doesn't scare me because we weren't near the tornadoes.
Yeah.
But if we were, I would have a different feeling.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think regardless, we can't ignore the fact that the fear reflex is arguably the strongest of primitive instincts for survival and a critical driver of evolution. So if you want to call my videos fear-based, cool, I mean, great, because it is the strongest instinct and the critical driver of evolution, which means will make you take action and ultimately allow you the greatest chance of survival, evolution, moving forward with, let's just say inversely, hey guys, might be some high winds coming. Do you think anybody's going to pay attention?
Probably not.
Hey guys, let me explain to you what a tornado is. Do you think anybody's going to pay attention?
No, probably not.
Critical warning for the people in Central Florida, Orlando, a tornado has touched down. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to get people to pay attention. We're trying to help.
Yeah.
But if you want to say it's fear-based, then by all means, keep saying it's fear-based, because fear is arguably the strongest of primitive instincts for survival and a critical driver of evolution.
Well, I mean, you can watch My Little Pony and call it fear-based if you're scared of ponies. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have their own.
The most fearful, in my opinion, are those who are most vulnerable and not prepared.
I agree.
Therefore, they want to, granted, YouTube is a completely different platform. They will never do this to the news. They'll never do this to reporters. They have a comment section in YouTube and they want to say, what they want to say. But regardless, call it what you want. The same people who say these things are the same people watching my videos. Like, so you're here for a reason?
Yeah. Did it say if anybody was hurt in Panama City area from that tornado?
Not from the headlines that I have seen. Okay. I haven't jumped in to them. I haven't jumped into them all the way.
I don't know if you have in there, but remember when we were watching and they were showing the hail that was in Texas that looked, I mean, it was the size of a head of lettuce.
They said baseball.
It was bigger than that. It looked like
softball.
It looked like a head of lettuce. Like the way that ice was formed was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Craziest part about it was the hail coming down, hitting that pool, but also the cows, which we need to talk about the cows.
Okay.
But you had mentioned if anybody was hurt. Granted, this is Lexington, South Carolina, but apparently somebody died at Walmart in Lexington, South Carolina.
From what?
They died.
From what?
They died.
Just inside a Walmart, like they had a heart attack?
It doesn't say. I think it might have been, it says at Walmart. I don't know if it's in Walmart. I don't know if it's in the parking lot. I'm guessing that it was a death where they just uncovered a body in a car. So, you've been in this situation where somebody fell asleep in the line of the school.
Yeah.
Whereas, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, we were talking about the loud noises upstairs and the wellness checks. And it's like, well, what happens when you see somebody? Like, if this person died in a Walmart parking lot in their car, how long did it take for someone to say, hey, this car and this person has been in this position for
Well, I mean, that would have to be somebody that worked there because a regular shopper won't know how long that car has been there. It'd have to be somebody who was working there and was there for a long enough shift and numerous days, I would think, to cause a concern. Because a lot of people park their cars places and leave. A lot of people are living in their cars right now. I was leaving Target and I noticed a older minivan off to the side and the side door was open. So I drove that way on my way out just to kind of make sure everything was okay, because it's one of those things that catches your attention and makes you wonder what's happening. So I drove that way just to kind of make sure everything was okay. And the door was open because, one, it was warm out, but the person had the whole inside of the van turned into a sleeping arrangement, and there were just clothes and sheets everywhere, and they were taking a nap.
Well, you got, Walmart's also, some of these Walmarts are the safe place where you can park overnight and camp, or not camp, but park and not be disrupted and, required to, you're not trespassing.
Yeah.
So, it's like, now are we going to get to a point at which everybody we see sitting somewhere, we're going to check on them, which could be a bad thing. Yeah. I don't want to roll up on people in their car. So, crazy stuff happening at Walmart. Crazy stuff happening at Amazon too, really. Because Amazon's earnings report beat expectations across the board and their stock is soaring.
Because inflation.
But Amazon also just announced more layoffs.
Well, yeah, that's how they have more profit. They're not paying as many people. So, of course, your profit's going to go up when you're paying less people. Less money out, more money in.
It's crazy. Like, hey, we're going to lay off these people. We're going to shut down these facilities. But earnings came in better than expected, and we're making a lot of money, and the stock's going up. So, hooray.
Yay.
Hooray. It says that the Fed is about to end rate hikes with inflation set to plunge. But here's the big takeaway from this headline. And it's crazy because as I read this, some people are going to fear this. Mm-hmm. And this is from Business Insider. Okay. Tell me if you would fear this. Okay.
Okay.
High income earners file for unemployment benefits at a record pace.
If you're a high income earner, I think that would scare you because you got to wonder why. And are you necessarily in that position to need that and not even realize it?
All this is fearful, in my opinion. The Federal Reserve is about to end its interest rate hikes. Good news. As wage growth is set to weaken. Bad news.
Bad news.
Let's see here. Fundstrat observed that Americans making more than $200,000 have filed for unemployment benefits at a record pace. Now that is scary. Obviously, if you make more than $200,000, if you make more than $200,000 a year, you're probably thinking to yourself, I'm pretty good. Hopefully you make $200,000 a year and you have really good personal balance sheets at home, investments, savings, you've been doing well with your money. Maybe it's not so scary because a lot of people don't make anywhere near $200,000.
Very true.
But think about it. Think about it like this. People who make over $200,000 a year, what do they do? What do they do for the overall economy in society?
In theory, keep money moving.
They probably employ cleaning crews, housekeep cleaners, possibly delivery services, childcare. People who make over $200,000 a year probably employ gig workers in a variety of ways as they are out working, traveling, doing things like that. But at home, they need certain things taken care of, landscapers, pool, people, maintenance service, things like that. Making over $200,000 a year, they probably even have real estate that they own as investments, that they have property managers employed. So you got to think, if Americans making more than $200,000 are soon to be filing unemployment, how's that going to affect everyone else that is tied into them?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what I said about people are like, I'm glad Walmart's closing. And it's like, you don't understand how many people are going to get hurt by a single Walmart store closing. It's not just the company. It's the employees there who relied on that paycheck. It's the people who were delivery drivers to take stuff from point A to Walmart. It's the people who clean the windows at Walmart, the floor cleaners, the people who clean the parking lot. Like every time there is a negative for one, it reaches out in a lot more ways than most people think about or realize.
And you make $200,000 and you go to zero unemployment, you're going to be super hungry. Mm-hmm. You lose your job at Walmart, for instance, you'll look for another job.
Yeah.
You lose $200,000, you're going out there and you are knocking heads. Like,
oh yeah, it's definitely different.
It says an estimate of 113 plus thousand unemployment claims were filed by Americans earning over $200K. This is the highest level since the pandemic, and the trend shows this is accelerating higher, with this week likely to be the crossover point where the unemployment claims of over $200,000 a year earners exceeds unemployment claims of under $25,000 earners. People who make more than $200,000 are filing unemployment more often than people who make under $25,000.
Well, because I feel like the people who made under $25,000 already got let go. And now it's time for the higher earners to be let go.
Yeah, but it's like Chad Money Minutes. Mm-hmm. He jumped in the live stream yesterday.
Yeah.
We were doing our split screen, And he said that during the pandemic, he said he was cleaning up with DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and things like that. He goes, the orders wouldn't stop. I drove an electric vehicle. I didn't have to pay for gas. Like, he said he was doing really, really well. So
The dog's awake.
when you think about it, it's like the resources available to someone who was making that kind of money could come in and wipe out everybody else who's struggling to do this gig work to get by. And they're looking at it like, yo, all right, I just lost my job. You know what? I can get a fleet. I can do all this. I can start advertising and, running QR tags. You showed me that one special card that, you put on your card, you can advertise. Like, do you imagine if somebody had the ability of making 200 plus and then they lose their job and they enter into the gig work market, how they will then dominate, making it much harder for others to utilize these services as ways of producing income. I think it's a big deal. Not only that, we're seeing high income earners really being affected by this economy, but realizing the implications that it could have on others. But also realizing that this is real. This is real life. This is happening. This is the news. And hopefully it's not super scary, but it can trigger the emotion of fear in some.
I agree.
I mean, I got plenty here to discuss that could potentially be very, very scary. And that a lot of people say, oh my God, you're just a fear monger. No, literally, I'm just reading the news.
Literally.
You asked me yesterday, what would you consider yourself? A social media influencer, a news reporter, or journalist? I think those are the options.
Yeah, media something, social media influencer or journalist. That's what Twitter was asking. Like, how would you label yourself if you had to have like a category that you were put in? And I was like, I don't feel like I'm a social media influencer because I'm not trying to influence anybody into anything. I'm just trying to bring news and stuff like that. So I didn't know if it would be considered media something rather or journalist.
I don't make this stuff up. I just read it. Now, granted, some people will read the title and thumbnail and automatically assume they know everything. And I think this comment came in on our hour-plus long live stream yesterday. So it's like that hour-plus long live stream, we covered so much. There's no way I could even begin to try to deliver that all in a title and thumbnail.
Well, especially because you didn't know where the conversation was going to go once it started. It's different in a live stream, in my opinion.
So I want you to brace yourself for this one because the U.S. FDA has approved Pfizer's next generation.
Oh, I know. And according to them, it'll be up to the rancher farmer if they want to administer or not. Right now, it is not.
This one
made
is for children ages 6 weeks to 17 years old.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the food. My bad.
Different one. This is a different one. This is a different Pfizer approval.
Okay. FDA, my brain immediately went to the food.
Yeah, I guess I wonder why that falls under the FDA's umbrella.
Federal Drug Administration, so.
I thought it was Food and Drug.
Food and Drug Administration,
Yes.
That's what I meant, yeah. So it's still drugs.
It's still federal.
Yeah, that too.
They're going to administer drugs. There you go. But yeah, they just got approved for their next generation. I can't say the word because I'm trying to stay monetized here. Side note, somebody asked if the Patreon was the two of us. So the Patreon is mine. Much like my channel, it could be anything. So I will be uploading a video there that we created about Rumble that I know I can't put on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know I can't put that on YouTube. And more than likely, some of these conversations that I want to have about what's happening with Pfizer will go over there. Because I want to share this with you guys, but I also don't want to have the struggle of dancing around the conversation and coming up with these code words to get through just reading this article.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I don't make this stuff up.
I just went ahead and read the whole thing because I didn't think about it. And I gave my thoughts. I said the V word. I said the M word. I said all of them. I was like, you know what?
You're much more loose with the tongue on my channel.
Yeah.
I say whatever I want.
I know, because it doesn't occur to me not to. But then I'm like, wait. I forgot that there are people out there trying to censor things now. So, meh.
Now, also, I want to point out that Pfizer declares their second quarter 2023 dividend. And Pfizer, New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol PFE, announced 2 days ago that its board of directors declared a 41-cent second quarter 2023 dividend on the company's common stock payable June 9th, 2023. So this is literally just a form of passive income that, as a stockholder for Pfizer, you get paid a dividend, 41 cents per share, for stockholders.
I don't know if I'm going to remember all of this correctly because I talk about a bajillion different things. But do you remember when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed? Well, one of their biggest...
I think it was on a Friday.
Probably. One of their biggest accounts in there was a cancer drug manufacturing Chinese company. And when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, they lost money and had to stop production for a while on what they were doing. And at the exact same time, because they were trying to get a grant here in the U.S., and at the exact same time that happened, Pfizer was given billions of, I don't remember, it was millions or billions of dollars from...
Probably trillions.
From the government to work on a cancer treatment, something or other.
The government
it's just the way Pfizer swooped in. It was just like, this feels...
swooped in.
Swooped in.
No,
this feels
they don't
very
swoop
whatever.
in. They don't swoop in. They already have these tests underway. They're 80% finalized. It's like in the movies, and it's like the computer's calculating like the success rate, and it's it's like it's not 100%. Just run it.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. Just run it. See what happens.
Yeah.
I think maybe one of the better examples of this would be World War Z. I don't want to give it any spoilers if you haven't seen it, but
It's a good movie.
Brad
Go
Pitt
watch it.
takes the chance.
Yeah.
He takes a chance.
Yeah. I mean,
It may work, it may not.
Yeah.
But the government is basically, they don't want you to have anything to hand off to your kids. They don't want you to have it. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to own your money. They want to have all this oversight and control over your thoughts and your behaviors and everything you do. And now there's a bipartisan Senate bill that would ban social media for children under the age of 13.
As it should.
Do you want the government raising your kids?
No, but when it comes to social media, there's too many parents who aren't raising their kids. But the whole ban, that's great, but all the kid has to do is say they're 14 when they try to sign up.
Oh, for sure. And I understand where you're coming from, but there's two sides of this coin. One is protecting children under 13. The other is the government basically telling you what you can and cannot do with your kids.
Well, they do that already.
They're doing it more so now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I understand the good intentions, but also how we are relinquishing more authority and control to the government to make this happen.
Well, my brain looks at it like, if they're going to do that, but as a parent, you want your kid to have social media or see social media, you just hand them your phone and show that to them.
This is the same government that is going to allow your children to run away from home and have a safe haven.
In Washington State, yeah, if they want to be transgender. And
but if you give them an inch,
they'll take a mile.
See what I'm saying?
I do.
See what I'm saying?
I do.
But I do know that there's a lot of folks out there who are concerned about their financial situation based on the poll results and the comments in the live stream yesterday. And this is all, again, this is a push by those in control that the annual income is being wiped out, lower, middle, and upper class, as we have already seen that 200K a year earners are filing unemployment. But lower, middle, and upper class income, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median annual income for Americans in 2021 was a little over $70,000 a year. But now we've got lower income households coming in under 48.5, upper income coming in over 145.5, and the middle income fell in between that range, which is ultimately mathematically how the middle class gets wiped out because these numbers change. So your income may not have changed, but if the range changes, then it just moves you in the bracket, also affecting how you pay your taxes or how much taxes you will owe. But more importantly is that they're recommending here, this is Yahoo Finance. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Yahoo, whatever. They got some tips here. Diversify your investments, which is what I talked about just a few minutes ago, but I talk about pretty much every video. Build a budget. But more importantly, what I like here is that they say invest in yourself.
Which is what you say all the time.
Invest in yourself. And if you want to know more about how to invest in yourself and you're not really sure what that means, then by all means, reach out, contact, connect. My info is in the description. You can hit me up, email, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. I think that's it. Or you can text me.
Don't do that one, because then somebody's going to reply to one of those.
It's a joke. Do
things.
not text
Do
me.
not, because he will never give you his
Because it's
phone
not
number.
me texting. It's not me trying to do.
No. Ignore those.
But the kid is feeling better today, and that's a plus. She's gonna go to school.
Yeah, so I'll get ready as soon as this is over, and then that way I can take her.
But was it allergies? Was it a cold?
I have no idea, because normally with allergies, she
Very
spiked
congested.
a fever the first day. She's felt perfectly fine the entire time, but she spiked a fever to like 102, and then it went away. We only gave medicine one night.
So this is what we were talking about yesterday, about this genetic modification that's going on in labs, in agriculture, in farming. And again, as we were sitting yesterday eating dinner, you used to provide me with Flonase when I didn't realize I had allergies, and you brought me Flonase, and it's like, oh, wait, I can actually breathe now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
That's what made you decide to love me.
Decide to.
Decide to love me.
And then I saw in this commercial, it's crazy that now they have a special Flonase headache and allergy relief.
Which we would have thought was what the original one was for, but now they've named it this way. So what was the original?
Well, I'm thinking that the genetic modifications have now changed the allergens to now incorporate headaches, whereas I never had headaches.
So she did say her head hurt the day before it all, or right when she was starting to get stuffy. But in my mind, when you're trying to blow your nose and trying to breathe, of course you're going to give yourself a headache with whatever's happening. And then she said her back hurt in the upper middle. And again, that's the thing. If you're coughing or you're trying to breathe, you're going to give yourself muscle pain in your back. So
what are they really doing to us?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe, you know, like, again, this like pushes me to think, and it's like maybe going off grid, maybe starting a farm, maybe kind of like aligning with the Amish and being self-sufficient and in control of your own food source may be best overall and for your health. But even still, then you have to have inputs, and those inputs, those fertilizers, whatever it may be, could have been tampered with.
Yeah.
Now, we did learn quite a bit last night, actually, watching a farmer in the UK, believe it or not, Jeremy Clarkson and the Diddley Squat Farm.
Diddley Squat Farm, yeah.
And we are learning so much, some of which I care not to share.
Holy.
But also, we can't, because we discussed this on previous videos yesterday, live streams, how certain content will be silenced because they don't want people to know the basics of survival. Mm-hmm. But the AI of farming with the clamp or the choke or whatever that thing was with the cows, I don't know if I could do that.
That was a lot. Hey, really fast, I'm going to interrupt you for literally breaking news. Lightning has struck the Columbia Gulf gas pipeline, causing a massive fiery explosion. This is in Corinth, Mississippi. Currently, numerous emergency crews and other agencies have assembled at Columbia Gulf gas pipeline in Corinth, Mississippi in response to massive explosion with large fire. And I'm watching this video. Holy crap. Officials believe that the ignition has resulted from a lightning strike, which impacted the Columbia Gulf gas pipeline. However, the current status, if the gas has been stopped from leaking or if any person is present at the site of the explosion have sustained injuries, remain unknown because it's just happened. Let me see if I can get this video to play for like 2 seconds. Look, can y'all see what's happening there? That is aggressive.
Oh boy.
That is a lot.
Oh boy.
You see that?
Oh wow.
Man. Okay. I'll be keeping an eye on this.
Columbia gas pipeline in Mississippi.
Columbia Gulf gas pipeline in Corinth, Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these were the state of emergency warnings. These are the state of emergency warnings and announcements that were being shared on the news. Patrick Humphrey had mentioned some of these. Mm-hmm. Whew, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, because the lightning, I said yesterday, the lightning was ridiculous yesterday while I was driving home, like more than we normally see through the sky, in the water. Like I didn't expect lightning in the bay. Like I didn't know that was a thing. So yeah, that's aggressive.
Man, that's crazy. And that's, it's like Mississippi, I'm sure there's tons of farmland out there.
Oh yeah.
And it's like some of these things, they can really like even watching Jeremy Clarkson trying to get his farm up and running, there's so much that can stand in the way of you actually being successful in producing and being sustainable. He also mentioned that, speaking of the genetically modified changes to allergens, he has a lot more bees now.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, some of the challenges that he faces is the fact that Brexit basically took away all of his endorsements, and now it makes farming more expensive and almost like not worth it.
Which is their plan.
Which is why he's trying to start a restaurant and store shop, obviously for views as well. Mm-hmm. But he has to subsidize his farming because he's lost a lot. Mm-hmm. And he's not the only one.
No.
He's not the only one. And speaking of UK, I want to point out that maybe, there are some extreme similarities with the UK government and the US government. Mm-hmm. And government regulation on the horizon, as 91% of UK consumers are aware of cryptocurrency, but they're demanding greater regulation on crypto. As crypto is rising in popularity. So the reason why I pay attention to this is because I do believe that they're all working together, at least sharing information that will ultimately, if it happens here, it may happen there. If it happens there, it may happen here. And these are the best indicators we have of warning signs of what's to come. Also, for people who want to know how to buy crypto, how to buy particularly XRP and Ripple, Forbes Advisor says, it's super simple. 4 steps: choose a crypto exchange or a broker, choose a payment method, buy your XRP. But more importantly, number 4, which has nothing to do with buying it, number 4 is select a secure storage. Because even if you buy crypto, even if you buy Bitcoin, even if you buy XRP, Ripple, whatever it may be, if you leave it on the exchange, it's very, very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. But we got to go because we're running out of time here. You got to get ready for the kid. Speaking of the kid, though, last but not least, as I mentioned at the beginning, California lawyers are warning that you should never leave anything to your kids when you die. And the reason for it being is that they say that it will lead to serious financial troubles. And we can dive into this in a future video if you guys would care to discuss and learn more about this. But it says that if you love your kids, don't leave anything to them when you die. And this is according to one California-based attorney. Instead, you can save your loved ones from serious financial and legal woes by creating a living trust and making them beneficiaries.
That's what I was going to say, as opposed to leaving something in a will.
And this is all according to an estate planning and asset protection lawyer. We really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Please smash the like button, comment down below. You guys take care. Be safe. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.